Today we're going to take a look at the northern suburbs in the Austin metro. The easiest way to understand how this area has developed is to take a look at the interstates. South of Austin, I-35 is the only interstate, but up north there are three. I-35 runs right down the middle. It passes through Pflugerville, Round Rock, and Georgetown. 183 is to the west, and it passes through Cedar Park, Leander, and Liberty Hill. To the east is the 130 toll road, and it connects Manor and Hutto. You also have 45, 79, and 29 that run east to west. They connect all three of these north to south running interstates, and all of this infrastructure makes it easy to navigate this entire northern area. I-35 was the first interstate in the area. Construction on it began back in the 1950s. Because it was the first one, all of the expansion outside of Austin and all of the newer housing developments back in the 60s, 70s, and even the 80s tended to cluster around I-35. This is Kensington Place, and it's located right here in southeast Round Rock. The first homes here were built in the 70s, and back in those days, this was literally the only thing out here. This is what the retail complex at the corner of I-35 and 45 looks like today. All of this came long after those original homes were built. Also nearby along 45 is the Dell complex. When they first moved to Round Rock back in the 90s, they were the only thing in the area. They have a total of 8 buildings, and during their peak back in the late 90s and early 2000s, all of these parking lots were filled. As more and more people kept moving to Round Rock, developers kept looking for more land that could be developed, which meant that most of the newer communities tended to be further out. This is Terra Vista, which is just off University Boulevard in North Round Rock. In fact, it's so far north that a portion of Terra Vista is in Georgetown. This is very common in this entire northern area. City limits and school district boundaries tend to become blurred as more and more of the vacant land is developed. You're going to see a similar pattern of development in Georgetown with one major exception. Back in 1994, Del Webb purchased 7,000 acres in northwest Georgetown to develop Sun City. This is a 55-plus community, and in 2021, there are about 8,500 homes and over 15,000 residents. That represents about 20% of the total population in Georgetown. So Sun City has had a big impact on Georgetown's demographics. Moving west, 183, which cuts through Cedar Park, Leander, and Liberty Hill, we're going to see a lot of differences in the evolution of the housing developments because of the timeline of the toll road. State Route 183 has been around since the 1930s. In the Leander area, it runs parallel to the train line. Some of the older buildings along this highway provide a glimpse into what this area may have looked like before so many people started moving here. One of the first housing developments along this old 183 was Blockhouse Creek, which is on the border of Cedar Park and Leander. The first homes here were built in the 80s, and although all these new residents increased the population of Leander back then, it wasn't until the 183 toll road was built in 2007 that the stage was set for the population explosion which has happened over these last 10 to 15 years. This is the Bryson community, which is on the opposite side of the 183 toll road, about a mile north of Blockhouse Creek. As you can see, most of these homes are much bigger than the ones in Blockhouse Creek. Bryson is just one of the many master plan communities along the 183 toll road. This development stretches all the way up 183 to Highway 29, which is at the corner of Liberty Hill and Leander. In fact, there's been such a huge influx of new residents in this area that there's currently a major construction project underway to expand the toll road all the way up to Highway 29. Once you get to Highway 29 and move east to Georgetown, you're going to see even more new housing developments. This is the Oaks of San Gabriel. Like those homes we looked at in Bryson, these big homes are reflective of current buyer tastes. In this area of the metro, buyers want big, expensive homes, and home builders want to give them exactly what they want. To give you an idea of the range of homes in this area, right next to the Oaks of San Gabriel is Cimarron Hills. It's a golf course community, and some of the homes here are well over $1 million. Running parallel to the 183 toll road is the Ronald Reagan Highway. Further south, this same street is called Palmer Lane. Palmer runs all the way across the Austin metro. It stretches from Manor, past the Samsung plant, across 35, across Mopac, past the Apple campus, and then across 45 all the way up to Highway 29. This road provides an alternative, non-tollway route into this entire area. This view from Ronald Reagan gives you an idea of the number of newer homes that have been built in this area. Before we move on, I want to highlight this area right here. It's called Brushy Creek, and is arguably the most highly desired area in the northern suburbs. The location is fantastic. It's only about 20 minutes from downtown. It's close to the Domain. The school district is highly rated, and it's close to 45, which gives you access to pretty much any interstate that take you anywhere into the Austin Metro you need to go. These homes are in Avery Ranch. They are not brand new homes, but they do have contemporary designs. This entire northern area saw major price run-ups during the pandemic housing boom. And even though prices have adjusted since then, Brushy Creek is an example where high demand has kept prices more elevated than other areas of the Austin Metro. Next, let's go east and take a look at the 130 toll road, which runs through Manor, northeast Pflugerville, and Hutto. 130 was built about the same time as the 183 toll road, but the development in this area has lagged behind Leander, Cedar Park, and Liberty Hill. Manor is only about 15 minutes from downtown Austin, but it's been largely overlooked for a long time. The Tesla plant, the current Samsung facility, and their huge new plant in Taylor are part of the reason why more and more home buyers are now beginning to consider this eastern area. This is a view of Manor from the 130 toll road heading north. That development is called Wild Horse. The first homes here were built around 2018. There are similarities between these homes and other homes in other parts of the metro. These houses might be a little less expensive than comparable ones in the city of Austin, but the prices in Manor have caught up to places like Round Rock and Georgetown. A little further north is Pflugerville. Now, Pflugerville is a lot like Round Rock in that some of the developments close to 35 date back to the 1970s. But this part of Pflugerville is much newer. Right at the intersection of 130 and 45 is a big shopping complex called Stone Hill. On the other side of 130 is Falcon Point. It's a golf course community, and the first homes here were built in the early 2000s. Now, you might find these homes a little dated, especially the interiors, but remember, the biggest advantage of living in this area is the location. With that easy access to 45 and 130, you can get to just about anywhere you want to go in the Austin Metro. A little further north along 130, we'll come to Star Ranch, which is another golf course community just outside of Hutto. These homes are much newer than the ones in Falcon Point, and prices are not significantly higher. This entire northern area is growing a lot faster than the city of Austin. And even though there are some homes up here that are very expensive, there are also a lot of homes that can fit just about any budget. If you think you might want to buy a house in the northern suburbs, you will face some obstacles. But this video will help you identify what they are and come up with a game plan so that you can overcome them.